Guys, do you know public speaking is said to be one of the major fear a lot of people have, even higher than the fear of death in some survey. It is estimated that about 75% of people have some sort of anxiety while speaking to an audience. And welcome to the AAO podcast, where we bring you story of ordinary people just like me and you who have been able to achieve some sort of success in their own rights. And the goal is to show you that you too can achieve success regardless the odd against you. And with me today, I have a very, very, very important guest. His name is Mr. Valentine Okafor. He's a public speaker. He is a leadership expert and a personal development coach. Hi, Mr. Valentine.
Hello, Leo.
How are you doing today?
I'm very well. Such a pleasure to be here today.
Same here. Honestly, I'm very excited having you on the podcast.
Much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
All right. So, Mr. Val, can you take a time to introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, like you rightly said, my name is Val Okafor. I'm a youth development specialist. That means I work with young people across Africa to develop their leadership and entrepreneurship capital for what I call personal prosperity, as well as corporate prosperity. And I've been doing this for a decade.
Wow, that's a whole lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Mr. Val, I'll go directly into my questions. I have been wanting to ask you these questions, and I trust that my guests too would want to hear these answers from you as well. So, how did it all start for you? Getting into leadership and finding purpose and saying, oh, I want to develop people. I want to coach people. I want to help people get into leadership and discover their potential. How did it all start for you?
Okay, so I'll try as much as I can to capture the story and it to be precise as much as I can.
All right.
Mark Twain, a great philosopher that I respect so much, said something phenomenal. He said, there are two most important days in life. The day you are born and the day you discover why. The day you discover why you were born, life becomes very meaningful. And if your life doesn't have a purpose, you just sleep, wake up. Sleeping becomes interesting because there's no purpose for waking up. And then, and in 2014, that was the year I actually encountered purpose. I was in a program and the speaker was talking about the first 5 commandments. He said, be fruitful, multiply, subdue, have dominion, and replenish the earth. And, he went deeper to talk about how you can be fruitful and not just in procreation, not just in having children, but you can be fruitful in your mind. You can think about ideas. You can bring ideas to life. You can write books. You can start up a business. And where I was thinking to myself, I said, Val, there's something you can do that can impact your world. And right there, I just had this burden to share the knowledge and experience that I had with the people around me. It was in a church setting. Wow. And so I said, there are a lot of young people in this church who are finding it difficult to succeed, whether it's in their terminal exams or their WAEC or UTME. And I've already crossed that bridge. Why not send the ladder down for them to succeed as well? Wow. So that was how I started organizing programs in church. I was just doing it. And I didn't ever believe that there was one day people would be paid money to speak or people would be invited to speak. It never occurred to me. I was just doing this out of passion, out of the love that I had for these young persons. And so my life started having a meaning. I started sleeping and waking up to pursue something meaningful. Wow. And then, from church to communities, from there to people started noticing me. Even throughout my university days, I was part of youth development organizations and I was involved in a lot of volunteering activities. And that was how I was reaching out to young people across Nigeria. And, recently I was in Europe representing Nigeria in such a very prestigious event. All of these things is simply to fulfill the purpose that I have to help young Africans develop their leadership capital. I know everybody can develop it. Like I said, it's just to capture
the
whole story. It's a
Yeah.
long story,
Well,
but
I know it's
I hope
just,
this helps.
I know it's such a short time to
Yeah.
dive into details, but I'll still come back to
Definitely.
your trip to Europe to
Okay.
represent Nigeria.
Absolutely.
But before then, you said something that resonated with me, and I believe that there are two important days in a man's life: the day you were born and the day you discovered the purpose of why you were born. See, many people in Africa, especially, even around the globe, find it hard to discover their purpose. There's a lot of search in the heart of a lot of young people. Why am I alive? Why am I here? Why am I born?
Yeah.
And you go online, you see a lot of theories, some valid, some not valid, and people tried and all that. So I want you to tell us, was it, as you said earlier, that it all begin in church? You know, you heard
a message.
Yeah. How can someone find the reason why they are born?
Okay. This question, I mean, a lot of people are struggling with. Why am I alive?
Yeah.
And what am I here to do in the world? And I said, it's not rocket science. There are a lot of people that had the privilege to maybe see in dreams or maybe heard voices.
Yeah.
And there are others who just by doing something they love, they got passionate about it. And then it started impacting the lives of people. So here's what I tell people when I'm invited to speak on purpose. I said, God never creates anyone empty. That's number one. Nobody was born empty. Number two, nobody was born as an experiment. Number three, nobody was born useless. Everybody who you see in this life came with a gift. It's called talent. Talent is an endowment. It's a solution packaged inside somebody to solve a problem in society. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is it that I'm good at? Everybody is good at something, right? Like the fish doesn't need to go to a swimming school to learn how to swim. It was given to it from the factory. The bird doesn't need to learn how to fly. It was inbuilt. And so is every human.
Yeah.
So we have something inside of us that when we bring out, the world will become a better place. So you need to ask yourself this question. What is it that I'm good at? That even if nobody pays me, I will still do it, because I have discovered that money is a seduction in this our society. People do things because of money. People kidnap for money. People do internet fraud for money. People, do what's called child trafficking for money. People take bribes for money. But are you fulfilled in all of those things? So you need to find out, what is it that I can do that even when nobody pays me, I'll still do it? What is it that I can do that even when nobody says thank you or criticize me, I will still be doing it? That's a pointer to your purpose. That's number one. Number two, what exactly can you do with a degree of competence that you don't need to go to a formal training school?
Yeah.
It's natural. Some people can sing and you're wondering, how are you able to sing? I can't sing.
Yeah.
And some people can tell stories. Some people can write. Some people
just
can
do it effortlessly.
think. Yeah, some people are compassionate. Compassion is a skill, it's a gift. Patience is a gift. Some people are patient. They can become counselors. Others are not. So you must be able to find out what makes you unique from the 8.1 billion people in the world. Like I said again, nobody was born empty. Everybody has something to donate in this world. Finally, and this is personal. What is it that you will do and you will get this statement? Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter into my rest. Now, it doesn't matter whatever you do on earth. You see, this statement is the best statement on earth. It's the most important statement we should all look forward to. Well done. When you go back to your creator, and then he asks you, what did you do with the gift that I gave to you? What did you do with the talents that I gave to you? Remember the story of the talent?
Yeah.
The guy with one talent buried his own.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to account for the talents that God gave to you. So what exactly will you do when you get this statement? I believe that when you deploy your talent, God will be happy. Because God is an asset businessman. He wants returns on investment on every creature. There's a lot coming. I mean, let me just drop this. let me drop this before. Yeah, let me drop this.
Okay.
And, I just remembered. So I just remembered something very critical and important for everyone listening to us today.
Yeah.
You see, when God was creating the world.
Yeah.
He spoke everything by words of mouth.
Yeah.
Let there be light, let there be the firmament, let there be the seas, let there be the lands.
Yeah.
But when it was time to create somebody who will represent them on earth, there was a meeting, there was a conference call. Let us, Father, Son, Spirit, create man in our own image and likeness.
Wow.
That was because somebody so important is about to hit the earth. You understand?
Yeah.
So how can such person, such being, not put something unique in you?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, Leo, just go ahead.
Honestly, Mr. Val, you've said a lot of things. And if you listen, I think it's a good point to just take note. It's such an eye-opener. And you are born for a reason. As you've said, nobody was born empty. You should always have a reason why you wake up, why you feel excited waking up in the morning, and the reason why you go to bed.
Yes.
And in most cases, I've seen a lot of people, we live in a world where a lot of people, as you said, money is a major deception in the world today. A lot of people want to discover purpose. A lot of people want to work in purpose, but they find themselves saying, oh, my purpose won't give me money. It won't pay me if I do this. So you find people doing things that pays rather than living a life of purpose, a life of meaning and impact, going to job they don't like, they are not excited about, but they just have to make money. So my question is, how can somebody, especially as a young person, work in purpose and still get to a point where he get rewarded for serving his giftings with excellence?
Leo, see, the truth of the matter is, in all labor there is profit.
Yeah.
The only thing that leads to poverty is procrastination, talking without doing.
Yeah.
Who told you that your purpose cannot give you money, financial reward?
Yeah.
Who told you that you cannot create wealth from your purpose?
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a deception.
Yeah.
Because come to think of it, have you asked yourself, because the problem, many people have limiting mindsets.
Yeah.
Many people don't think global. You can be a teacher, but your clients are in America, Japan, Germany. You can leverage technology to have classes and people all over the world will attend. That's the mindset. Think global. The fact that you're born in Oshobo doesn't mean your life will end there. You are the light of the world, not the light in your bedroom. You're the salt of the world, not the salt in your pot of soup.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset. That's the thinking. Whatever it is that I'm doing, it can go global. It can go global, and then seest thou a man diligent in his business. He will stand before kings, nobles, and not mean people. So once you are diligent in your business, it's just a short time. Kings will start buying from you. People that are important in the society will start buying from you. Just to give you an example, sorry, before you come on board. Whoever thought that being a chef is something until Hida Basi broke a record. And, she has made multiple millions teaching people how to cook.
Literally,
just do something and then have a global mindset. And you'll be rewarded.
Wow. See a man being diligent in his business. He should stand before king and not men. And there is profit in all labor. I posted on my LinkedIn page yesterday, still talking about having a global mindset, because I have this platform where I mentor entrepreneurs. Yeah, so I was just telling them that the major reasons I've noticed from my experiences consulting with a lot of companies and small business owner, I noticed that they want to have big result, but they don't have the mindset that enable that result possible. They want to make 10 million naira, but they do not have the mindset that 10 million naira will naturally come to. So I was just posting that for you to be able to achieve something meaningful, one, you must have a global perspective, because the world is becoming global and the internet technology has made it possible for somebody to have audience in all from different parts of the globe.
Yeah.
And that brings me now to you. We were in Europe a few weeks ago. And can you tell us how the opportunity came and how you discovered it and what it was about?
Okay. So that will be my third country so far. And I started applying to opportunities from 2017.
Yeah, wow.
Even when I was still on the mentorship, trying to understand my direction and all of that. So I've been this person who always wanted to learn. Yeah, because if you stop learning, you start dying, and you cannot give what you don't have, as much as you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I knew I was going to serve people from different backgrounds, serve people from different countries of the world. So I need that knowledge development as well. So I started applying to opportunities from 2017. I've been part of so many opportunities, but like you mentioned, that was early June.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I was in St. Petersburg, one of the beautiful cities in Russia, to as a delegate from Nigeria to attend the 27th International Economic Forum. This is a gathering of world leaders to come and talk about trade, world economy, trade, business, sustainable development, climate action, as the case may be. And I was part of those conversations, and learning how, as also Africa, can be part of this big game. And one of my ideologies and philosophies from my mentor, Professor Patrick Lumumba, is that Africa needs to be a diner and not a waiter on the global dinner table.
Wow.
Yes, because over the years, Africa has been a waiter, and or even the food to be eaten. When the G7 sit down and all of that, they begin to dissect Africa and begin to share Africa amongst themselves. Africa needs to jump off from the plate to become a diner, to also have a seat at the global dinner table.
And major decision maker.
Absolutely. So attending forums like that, attending meetings like that will help position us for global relevance. And the lessons are so enormous, and I'm back sharing with my organization, sharing my communities through structured mentoring and knowledge sharing opportunities.
Wow. It's so very inspiring to see what can happen to someone when you embrace process and transformation. It's so the possibilities is very enormous, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So Mr. Val, you say, I want you to sincerely answer this question.
Okay.
Were you from a rich background? Because a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, they've grown up in that cliche that makes it possible, that makes them believe that you cannot become anything and get to certain places without knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And they feel like diligence, hard work, and being disciplined is overrated. And so you see a lot of young people now. That is why you see there's a lot of obsession to cut corners, high crime, high rates of crime, high rate of internet fraudster and all that. But I'm so happy that there are some people rising, leading the transformation, especially for young people. You can see a lot of young people in the tech industry, building businesses, raising funds in the millions of dollars, doing very exciting things. So can you speak about your background growing up and let our audience know that regardless of your background, regardless of the circumstances around your bed, you can still emerge?
Absolutely. Thank you. So I wasn't born in an advantageous background. I grew up in an environment where I woke up in the morning and I saw grown-up men and women playing draft from morning till night, and there was nothing really inspiring, really, because children learn by observation. Children don't listen. They learn by watching. They learn by observing. And so I was observing how women would go to work with their children strapped at their back, hawking watermelon or maize or something. That was the reality for me at the time. And so there was nothing really advantageous apart from my mind. Over the years, I've really wanted to become a great person, really wanted to interact with people way ahead of me. So let me say, like we say in Nigeria, I was born and raised in a humble background. And I've grown up now. So one of my inspirations is Abraham Lincoln, and he said something remarkable. He said, "I do not care who my grandfather was. I only care what his grandson will become." So if you came from a poor family, a rich family should come from you. And you do not allow your background to keep your back on the ground. So these are the realities I've been exposed to. These are the kind of knowledge that I've been exposed to. And so I'm working really hard on my visions, on my purpose, to be able to create a life of options for me, for the people around me, for my family, for anybody who just comes around. They have that option. So anybody can be anything. One of my mentors would say, nobody was born rich or poor. We were all born naked. Now the decisions you make shapes your life. And let me drop this. At birth, we look like our parents. At death, we look like our decisions.
Wow.
When you were born, people will say, "Oh, Leo, look at his nose, like your dad's nose, like your mom's mouth." But at death, nobody will say that. People will say, "Oh, he was a good man. Oh, she was a good woman. Oh, she was a bad woman. Or he was a bad." So at death, we look like our decisions, the choices that we made. So you can come from a humble background, but you can now bequeath an advantageous background to your children. Yeah. So I am on that journey to becoming a person of influence and becoming a person who will give other persons the opportunity to become whosoever they want to be.
So for you listening at home, to let you know, regardless the circumstances around your bed, as you've heard our guest said, you look like your parents when you were born, but when you die, you look like your decision. Your life will always go towards the direction of your decision at any time. You can make the decision. You can intentionally make the decision to start living intentionally towards a life of excellence and towards a life of meaning and impact.
That's right.
So you can start from where you are. If you're a tailor, pay the price to be competent and excellent at what you are doing. Start where you are with what you have, and with faith, with excellence, with diligence, looking towards those who has risen to that standard you want to attain. Just with time, you too can emerge victorious. So our guest here is a leadership expert. So I would not just let this podcast let him go without letting him share some things about leadership, especially in our continent, today, Africa, which is a very great and a very beautiful nation with a lot of potentials with the youth. But we see there are a lot of leadership deficits. And I feel now is the time for young people to become leaders, to become change maker, to rise, to take actions, to be able to cause a change in their various sphere of influence. So over the years, we've seen leadership as positions, as titles. We've seen leadership as appointments. We've had a lot of narrative as control over people. So who is a leader?
Wow. This is an interesting question. There are a lot of people I've battled with over the years as to who is a leader and what leadership is about. A leader, first of all, leadership is a lifestyle. It's not just a lifestyle, it's a prestigious lifestyle of a lot of attributes, beautiful attributes, such as impact, such as vision, such as empathy, such as commitment, discipline, excellence. Leo, you don't have to be the governor of your state to be able to make impact in the lives of other people. Just make it a point of duty to make a positive difference in the lives of anyone you meet, whether they speak your language or not, whether they have facial marks like you or not. You don't need to ask what's your father's name before you give them what belongs to them. That's leadership. And you don't need to be the governor, the minister, the president to do that. It's a lifestyle. So when we understand that leadership is a lifestyle, where you have the opportunity to now be in position, that lifestyle manifests. It's as easy as that. And anybody can develop their leadership capital.
Wow. So everybody can develop their leadership capital. So you don't have to be in a leadership position before you're a leader. Because there are many people who are in leadership positions who are not leaders. Leadership can be developed. Leaders are not born. Leaders are transformed. It's a process. you get to develop those capacities over time. So with everywhere you are, make sure you are contributing positive to the life of everyone around you.
Yeah.
Making sure you exercise leadership at home, at work, and anywhere. So that's that. So that will lead me to my next very important question, Mr. Valentine. So we see a lot of people get to disassociate. My podcast is centered towards young people, right? So a lot of young people tend to disassociate value from wealth creation. Value. So they just want to get without giving anything. They just want output without any input. So even generally in life, I believe there are laws that governs life. You cannot expect to have what you don't give, right? So I want you to share how important value is for somebody to be able to in the journey of creating wealth. So people don't just see creating wealth like a mystery or money as a mystery, that it's a byproduct of value, offering value.
Yes.
Exchange.
Great. Yeah, it's very important for us to understand this. Human beings are not designed to chase after money. Yeah. Human beings are designed to attract money. Right. When we, make whether it's a product or a service available for people to buy, then money comes in return. Except you want to cut corners, jump the gun, then it becomes very difficult to actually get this. Yeah. Once you create value, and value is anything that is worth time and attention, energy, right? So if you're able to create a product or a service that is worth the time of anyone, that is worth the attention of anyone, that is worth the energy of anyone, people will respond. When you look at your locality, look at your community, look at the people around you, what is the missing link? What is the gap that exists amongst these people? And you create a solution to filling that gap, people naturally will come to you. Wow. It's like selling water in a desert. You're going to make a lot of sales because there's a problem of water in the desert. So look around you, look at the community where you find yourself, and then check what the missing link is, what the problem is, and then create a solution to solve that problem. Money, impact, influence will naturally follow you.
Wow. So we're coming to the end of this podcast, and I believe it's been an amazing time.
Yeah.
But Sava, I just want you to leave a final thought to our guests, that young person who is at home, is feeling discouraged, with all this against that person.
Yes.
What's that word for that person?
Wow. Final words for anyone listening to me today. I will quote Helen Keller, who said that the worst thing than being blind is having eyes without vision. It doesn't matter where you find yourself at this point in time. What matters is the vision that you have. And I'm not just talking about what the physical eyes can see. I'm talking about the function of your heart. Vision is not a function of the eyes, it's the function of the heart. So what can you see from your heart? And vision is simply a mental picture of a desirable future. It's a future you desire so much that you want to be a stakeholder in. You want to be not just a fan, but a major player in that vision. So you can develop a vision for yourself, for your family, for your academics, for your marriage, for your business. You have something that wakes you up every morning. And Kamal, one of the former presidents of India, said, your dreams are not what you see in your sleep. Your dreams is simply what keeps you awake. So what is that thing that keeps you awake that you're always yearning to do? That's your vision. Pursue it with vigor, with excellence, and you will achieve success.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Leo. It's been a great time. Really.
I'm so glad having you here. It's been such depth of wisdom.
Thank you so much.
And I believe our audience got a lot of value. So like always, I'm committed to bringing you value, to ensuring that you emerge, that you become, that you keep defiling all odd and all obstacles that is against you until you emerge. And remember, as always, I'm always rooting for you. You're a winner and you can. Tell yourself that you're a winner and you can. So our guest here, as I told you earlier at the start of this podcast, he's a public speaking expert. He's a leadership expert and a personal development coach. So he has a course, a masterclass coming up shortly, and he has his books and various important resources. So I'll just give him time to talk about it.
All right, thank you, Leo, for this opportunity. So, for anyone looking to develop their leadership capital, or you want to learn how to communicate effectively, you want to learn how to speak with in an irresistible manner, you can be part of my mentorship. Where I train clients on how to develop their leadership capital and their public speaking skills. So just search me online, Val Okafor, across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course um, WhatsApp, everywhere. And then we'll continue with the conversation.
All right.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. So thank you so much. So if you want to learn more, you want to become better in leadership, in public speaking, please do well to find his courses and his masterclass. You won't regret that. So we've come to the end of today's episode, and I'm sure you got value from today's episode. And this is AAO Podcast. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us across social media platforms to get more content like this. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye.